Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought it'd be really fun to film my latest book haul. I've acquired quite a few books recently. Most of them were actually from Dollar Tree, so I'm very excited to talk about those books, with the exception of one. One actually I bought from Walmart recently, but I'm very excited to talk about it either way. But yeah, I know I have a never-ending TBR of books that I need to get to, but I'm just a book lover, so I'm just gonna keep buying books. So many books, so little time is kind of that situation. It is what it is. But anyway, I have quite a stack of books here if you give me 1 second. So I have got quite a few books to talk about actually. So I think I'm gonna break it up into manga, which is only one, so that's not gonna take too long. And then I have, I think, a contemporary and a little bit of historical romance and maybe a fantasy. So I have quite a few to talk about. So without further ado, let's just get into the book haul. So the first book I want to talk about is Spy Family Volume 12. I had no idea there was a Volume 12 coming out. I had no idea. So when I went to Walmart and I spotted this, I grabbed it so fast. It was the only copy I seen actually. So I'm very excited to get to it. I don't know anything about this book, but I'm going to guess based on the cover that it's about her story. I completely forgot this character's name, but I do know she's kind of Twilight's informant, I want to say. So she kind of gives Twilight the missions he needs to go on and so on and so forth. But I know she has a past that is a troubled past, I believe. She has something to do with her daughter. I'm not going to give any spoilers, so don't worry. But I know it has something to do with her daughter, and she had a life before she went into the spy agency. So I'm very excited to hear what her story is all about. So anyway, there's Spy Family Volume 12, and I'm very excited to get to it. And I will hopefully get to it very soon. Next book I want to talk about is called A Taste of Sage, and this is by Yafaya S. Santos, I believe the author's name is. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. But anyway, it's about this young character, this young woman. Her name is Lumi, and she's a very talented chef, so she decides to open up a restaurant. But that kind of fails for some reason. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but based on the synopsis, it seems that she basically opens up her restaurant and it seems to be falling apart. So she is forced to take up a position as a sous chef, and she teams up with, I believe his name is Julian, and they have to basically work together to kind of pursue their cooking careers, and she's forced to work with them. So I believe this is going to be an enemies to lovers kind of trope. Very excited to get to this book. And again, I found these books at Dollar Tree except for Spy Family, but this book, I'm actually very impressed that I found it at Dollar Tree, because this cover has a very grainy texture, I want to say. I haven't felt this kind of texture before on a paperback, so I'm very excited to get to it. The cover is really what intrigued me the most. I love the bright red, and I can tell this book, based on this little dish here, is probably going to make me hungry. But anyway, very excited to get to this book. So the next genre I want to talk about is basically Christmas books. I've acquired quite a few Christmas books at Dollar Tree. They had a bunch of them, so of course I had to pick some of them up. But anyway, I picked up this one, and this one is called The Mistletoe Matchmaker by Felicity Hayes McCoy. Very excited to get to this book. I just love the cover of it. It is just so pretty. This just screams winter to me, and I really want to get into Christmas books. I haven't read a lot of Christmas books throughout the years, which is weird. But anyway, I'm very excited to get to this book. Basically, from the synopsis when I read it, it's basically this young woman who goes into a small little town, and she kind of discovers the drama that's going on between I believe it's her grandmother and her husband, and why it's so hard for her grandmother to express her feelings and everything like that. So she tends to make friends in this little small town, and then she just kind of goes through little mysteries, kind of unlocking what everyone's little backstory is about. So I'm very excited to get to this book. Let me know if any of you have read this book. And yeah, so I just decided to pick this one up for the Christmas reads. Continuing on with the Christmas read genre, I picked up this book, and it's called Jacob's Bell, A Christmas Story by John Snyder. Look at this cover. This just looks so cute, so whimsy. My grandma actually finished reading this book. I forgot what it is about, but my grandma read it and she loved it. But basically what caught my attention of this one was it says, sometimes the road to forgiveness is a rocky one. Christmas is approaching, and Jacob McCullum finds himself estranged from his children, penniless, friendless, and living on the streets. Realizing he needs a drastic change, Jacob embarks on a journey to find his children, seek their forgiveness, and restore his relationships. Befriended by a pastor at a Salvation Army mission, he struggles to transform his life. Jacob volunteers to become a Salvation Army bell ringer at Christmas time. An unlikely friendship he develops with a little girl mysteriously leads him back to his family. So I can tell this is going to be very, very cute. My grandma read it, she enjoyed it, but she didn't want to spoil for me, so she didn't tell me anything about it. But this is just so cute. I was really captivated by the cover, just all the detailing. I love the glow from the lanterns there, or the street lights I should say, the little wreath there and the bell. Oh my god, I can tell this is going to be so cute. And this is easily like a day read for me. I'm pretty sure I can finish this in one day. So very excited to pick this one up and read it. The next holiday read I picked up was this book right here, and it is called A Season for Second Chances by Jenny Bayliss. Just look at this cover. This just screams Christmas. It screams the holidays for me, so I really love this one. But anyway, I believe this one is about a young woman who's kind of going through the motions of life. Her kids are all grown up. She's not really feeling it. They have their own life. She's kind of alone now, and she kind of lost the motivation to, like, she's kind of floating through life, basically. So she moves into a new little town to kind of start over and kind of refresh herself. But then the homeowner of the house that she's renting from, there's actually tension there, but obviously a romance sparks. So I'm very excited to get to this one. It sounds very, very cute. I'm very anxious to get to this read. But yeah, this was just another Christmas read I just decided to pick up. Once again, I really want to expand my Christmas TBR because I don't really read Christmas books around December. I don't know why. But anyway, I decided to pick this one up, and I'm very anxious to get to it. So this one is going to be the last Christmassy book that I picked up, and this one is called Christmas at Rosie Hopkins' Sweet Shop by Jenny Colgan. This one looks very cute. Once again, I just love the Christmassy vibes. I just love it. It's really cute. It reminds me like of a Hallmark vibe kind of thing. But I think my gram actually finished this book and she really enjoyed it. But I believe we have our main character. Her name is Rosie Hopkins, and she's basically gearing up for the holidays. She's super excited with her baking. She's just into the festivities. But a tragedy strikes her hometown, and she has to rely on her friends and family to kind of get through the tragedy. I'm not sure what the tragedy is all about, but I'm very, very excited to get to this. It's just so cute. Yeah, so once again, I know I'm repetitive, but I'm very excited to get to this one. Now we're going to switch gear to a little bit of historical romance. So when I seen this book at the Dollar Tree, I ran and I grabbed it. I seen the author's name, his name is Jim Fergus, and I ran to it because, first of all, this is the book that I picked up, and it's called Strongheart, The Journals of May Dodd and Molly McGill, once again by Jim Fergus. I love historical romance or anything really of historical fiction. I just love it so much. But anyway, more about this book. I believe this is going to be part 3 to these books. These books are also by Jim Fergus. I read these a while ago. This was like during COVID. But anyway, the first one is called 1000 White Women, and then the second one was called The Vengeance of Mothers. I read these during COVID, and I actually had these books, and I picked them up 2 different times at a thrift store. And when I read this one, I was just obsessed with it. I still think of these characters till this day. I fell in love with it. And so when I finished reading it, I was like, oh my god, there's a part 2 to it. And when I checked my bookshelves, I actually had it, and I didn't even realize they were part of the same series. So the same series. So I was just like, oh my god, that is just luck, because I had no idea these 2 went together. I had no idea, but I highly recommend these books. They're tragic, they're heartbreaking, they're so raw, but oh my god, you just stick to them because it's kind of written in journal entry, and I just could not stop reading it. I think I read this in like 2 days or something like that. I just could not stop reading it. But anyway, so when I seen this one, and I actually read where it says The Lost Journals of May Dodd and Molly McGill, these are actually the twin sisters that are in The Vengeance of Mothers, and I believe this is a continuation of it. So I am very, very excited to get to this book. I think this is going to be my next read. I say that about most of my books, but anyway, you get the idea. I'm just excited about this. Not really sure what this one is about, but it says, oh look, it says the final installment in the 1000 White Women trilogy, a novel about fierce women who are full of heart and the power to survive. So yes, heck yes, am I going to pick this up. This is just, I'm just so anxious to get to this one. This is definitely going to be high on my TBR list. So yeah, once again, I'm very excited to pick this up and read it. Now this book, when I seen this book, again, I just grabbed it real fast. I was not expecting to find this book. I love it, but it's basically Bridgerton, and it is The Wit and Wisdom of Bridgerton, Lady Whistledown's official guide. Oh my god, just look at this cover, guys. And from Dollar Tree, my god. Look at that gold foiling, the flowers. Oh my god. Just stunning. The lighting in here doesn't even give it justice, but it has the gold foiling, and I believe this is just, look at the end pages. Look at that. stunning. And I believe this is like a collection of the short stories of the different characters from Bridgerton. So I'm very excited to get to this. So, oh my god, and then you have the Dear Reader. Oh my god, I'm so excited to get to this book. And then the writing, it's like purple and brown. I'm just very excited to get to this one. Run to your Dollar Trees and look for this book. And then it's hardcover. I was just so amazed when I found it. I just grabbed it. I don't even care what it's about really. I'm just gonna read this. This is high on my TBR for sure. And again, a hardcover from Dollar Tree. It's Bridgerton. Like, that's all you need to know. It's Bridgerton. Read it, pick it up, go grab it. Highly recommend. Even if I haven't read it yet, I don't care. I love the series. Just read it. Yes, please. Run to Dollar Tree, go find it, go buy it, go pick it up. So this book is going to be the last historical fiction book that I picked up, and that is None of the Less Sent For Me by Lauren Fox. This one seems very heartbreaking. Just the cover alone to me, it was just very intriguing, so I picked this up. But basically it is about a young woman who's living with her family, and they're kind of running a bakery, and they kind of think all is good because they start hearing about how the war is coming, how there's this anti-Jewish law coming into play, but they're kind of like, oh, it won't affect us, we have nothing to worry about, nothing bad's gonna happen. But so she moves on, she has a daughter, she marries and everything, but then the war starts coming, and in fact it does happen to them. This was a very hard and tragic time during that period, and basically, obviously with everything going on, her and her family start to make plans to kind of flee the country. But unfortunately, her and her husband, they get the chance to flee to America, but they aren't allowed to bring her parents along for some reason. So obviously I wouldn't know what to do in that situation, but this is gonna be heartbreaking. I can already tell. But I don't mind books that are like that. I don't mind books that are heartbreaking, that hit me very hard, because I just love learning about that period of time. I love learning what tragedies people went through, because it just reminds me to be grateful for what you have. And there was once a period of time where a situation like that arose, and what do? It just kind of opens your eyes to that kind of period of time and kind of helps you realize what's important in life. So anyway, I'm very excited to get to this book. I'm obviously not emotionally ready for the tragedy I'm going to read, but I've read so many books on this period, and I'm never bored of it. I love picking those books up. I love learning about that genre. I love learning about that period of time. So anyway, once again, very excited to get to this one. And the last book I have to talk about, this is actually a fantasy, and I know how I am with fantasies. I know how it's a hit or miss for me, but I like to give things a chance. You never know. But anyway, it's called Blessed Monsters by Emily A. Duncan. The cover is what intrigued me, and then look at the pages. They're kind of like that, I don't know what you call those, but they're kind of like that, I don't know, that vintage, I guess. I don't know what these pages are, so I'm sorry. But if you know, let me know. But they're kind of like that edgy chop pages, so I just love that. So anyway, that's what caught my attention. I will probably look into the first two books, but to me it doesn't bother me if I read them in order, as long as I can follow along or I get the general idea. I just thought for $1.25 I'm gonna pick this up, give it a chance. You never know, I might like it. And obviously if it just doesn't make sense to me, I know why. I'm reading it in completely wrong order. But anyway, I'm very excited to get to this one, and you never know, I might be hooked on it. But I will obviously give my thoughts on this book when I do finally get to it. So anyway, just want to pick this up and show you guys this one. And that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed my little book haul. Let me know in the comments down below if any of you have read these books, or if any of these books are worth the hype. Let me know. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today once again. I look forward to seeing you all in my next videos. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you all next time. Bye.